Self-defense tip number 3.
Hey crew, Mark Hatmaker here. Dan Marks assisting me. Dan, we got to do this. Thank you, brother. We're on our feet because we want to talk about a head snap. We want to do an old school frontier rough and tumble head snap. In wrestling, there is a head snap to bring people down, and it's a great and wonderful functional tool. But we want to add a little bit more oomph to it so you can use it for your street altercations, because frontier rough and tumble is about, it's for all the marbles. It's mean to, you want to end this thing, right? Now, I'm going to show you from a reference position, which is a quasi-inside clinch, even though it can have a sportive look to it, but it can be off of anything. Guy, he could be shooting heavy and fast for actual street scuffle. We do wind up in the street scuffle. We get close in for the inside clinch, but we're going to snap out of this reference point, so this is not the only place this can be done. The reference point is just called inside position. In this case, it looks very similar to collar and elbow. My right hand goes around Dan's neck. My left hand is looking to stay to the inside. So if Dan were to grab my neck and he's grabbing my arm as well, we see I'm on the top, he's on the top. We're basically in a neutral position. This is the sportive version of it. We're not wanting that. Well, I'm not wanting that, all right? I want him to be in the sportive version, right? I'm not a sportsman, not anymore. My hand goes here, as his hand might be reaching for me, and it doesn't matter. He could just be shooting or we could be boxing. My job is my hand goes to the back of his head. This other hand comes to the inside position. Why does it come to the inside? Because Dan's engineering hand is in the back of my head. He's going to want to snap me. I'm reducing his ability to snap just by the fact that I've taken away his leverage position right here. If I start pulling on him, I have better leverage. His hand's on the back of my neck. If I'm here, pull on my head, yeah, I can ride. I can stop it out by bearing into him, but pull on my neck now. I push his bicep. Woo! That was pretty easy, right? Just switching where our hands are, that's the way to go. The other reason I want my hands are to the inside, let's swing it around this way, grit your teeth. Are you ready, Dan? I'm coming across with the inside crook of the arm. I'm going to get your head up just a little bit. If I'm to the inside position, he grits his teeth. I'm able, sorry about that. You got to send this across, catch him with the bicep. It's called Oklahoma popping, right? Everything I'm doing in the clinch, you're moving the entire time, making things happen to upset his base, to upset his spirit and heart, right? That's what we want, the inside position. If I'm here to the inside, Dan doesn't have that opportunity because I'm blocking it out, because I am scared of having that happen to me. He's perfectly capable of it, but at 25 pounds up, I get a headache all day, and that's why I'm demoing, and he has to do it. Ha ha. So to make the snap happen, one more thing, Dan. Here we go. To snap, I'm going to bring both hands 6 inches high, and then I bring them down aggressively. So they will go this high, down aggressively. While I'm doing that, my feet go back to square, and I bend over this way. I'm going to have to do it once, brother. You good? Mm-hmm. All right. Teeth are clenched. Mm-hmm. Ready? So he's getting this huge shock in the back of the head. I'm riding him down with the bike. Go ahead, stand up, brother. Man, oh man, he's a good man for taking it. Hey, I'm doing this to him. Do not mistake the fact and think that he can't do that to me. He can't. He's very good at what he does. I just got the option to do this, so I chose it because I'm older and wiser, right? But the main idea, you don't pull someone down. I'm not going to do it again, I promise. You don't pull someone in a snap up and then down. But also look on this up and down. One more time, look at this elbow. I'm not going to do it to him. As it goes up, it bites him in that clavicle at the same time. Frontier Rough and Tumble has so many little hidden shots in it. It is a thing of beauty. You gotta love it.
Hey, Jimbo here with a quick announcement. What if you had a handful of simple moves that could end a fight in a couple of seconds, even against larger, stronger men? Well, that's exactly what I've got for you. And it's yours for free from the link in the description. 15 ultra brutal fight-any moves that are surprisingly simple to learn. Outside the U.S. Special Forces, not a lot of guys know these. But when it hits the fan and your life is on the line and you need something truly nasty to end a fight in a couple of seconds, you're going to want to know these. This brutal hand-to-hand training is yours for free. Just get to the description below and click on the link. Okay, back to our video.
Self-defense tip number 2.
What I want you guys to try to practice, putting pressure right on the base of the skull, right in the top, upper part of the spine. Remember that crank we did before? Use your body. It can be your chest, it can be your hip. Doesn't really matter. Wherever his head comes in, poke that area out, put that crank right in the back of his neck and take him down. And they'll pat right out. And patting out's not the objective. These are finishing holes, guys. You can really do some damage on people. So when he starts coming in, he's coming here, I'm patting him down, get him right here. Squeeze and crank him down, okay? Good. All right. We're going to walk right through several of these moves real fast and go back to our ground fighting scenario, because almost always when you think something's right, it just doesn't work. Mr. Murphy's Law steps right in and boom, and you fall on the ground. I believe that It was Joe Lewis that told me once that 88% of all street fights end up on the ground. 88% is good enough for Jim West to learn how to fight down there, even though that's the last place on earth I want to end up. So you got to know how. The next rush is a guy comes down deliberately, much like a wrestler, and he tries to come in and grab at your legs. So when he comes in here, look, you want to shoot your arms in here like this, between his neck and his shoulder, reach underneath and do a side headlock. In other words, his head doesn't go back, it goes sideways like this. All right? So you can also go back into the DDT if you're quick enough. There's a lot of angles you can work that neck, but the side one works real nice also. Okay, because you got all those nerves once again down here. Now this one here is very, very, very dangerous. You got to have your footwork to support it. So when they start their rush, they come head down. Slide over here, Dale. First thing I like to do is try to slow him down. I don't know that I can stop him. If I got a Russian opponent come at me, I may hit him with an uppercut. I may hit him with a palm heel straight up. Maybe catch him with an elbow. Maybe come over top, hit him in the back of the head, then grab him. Or one I've been working on for a while is when he comes in, is to grab his head and crack him with your knee real hard. Once you crack him and he keeps running forward and trying to grab you, shoot your hand down. If he goes to my right, no problem. It would be the same if he went to my left. Reach down and grab his chin. You're still going backwards, and take that chin and just pull it straight up to the ceiling. Okay? You get a big, strong guy in a bull rush, it's going to make his night really rough. So he's here like this. He starts coming in. We go to knee. Boom, grab, pull him up, and it's done. All right? Good deal. Now we're still walking into Murphy land. We get in here. He's big and strong. I'm going like this. He rushes again. I get that. I try. He gets my leg. He trips me. Boom, we're down here. And somehow we end up in what they call, boop, boop, the guard position. Laying on your back with your legs wrapped around you. Right? First thing you want to do, if you can, from this position, is to reach up as tight and closely as you can to keep him from headbutting you, and pull him in just as tight as you can get him in. Now we can get back to using our clothes again to choke with. The first choke we're going to do is really, it's a very advanced choke. I've heard it called the anaconda. What it is the guy comes in, he ends up here in this guard position. Likewise, if I'm on the ground and he's trying to get to me, right, he's coming in, I want to try to keep him out with my feet or maybe even my knees. He's still coming after me like this until I get him where I want him. Then when you get in a certain position, let him on in. Open your guard, pull him in, and pull him down as close to you as you can. Now you may want to grab your material here, take the other hand, work it up underneath his throat so you have a crossing choke hold here. And then once you get this choke hold, you take your legs or hips and push down like this, and he'll tap right out. It's a good finishing hold. All right? If you got a guy down here like this, if I have a long sleeve, you can reach up inside your sleeve and get more leverage. If you're a smaller person and you're not strong enough to hold him, use your material. But when you get up under here, say I couldn't get to his neck under normal conditions, start knife edge in your hand until you get right up in this oral nerve right here to push your chin up, and then slide it in. And once you're locked in here, then you just pull down and choke them out. Okay? Okay, we're going to talk through this whole thing one more time. Old Mr. Remo comes flying in here. We set him up. We hit him a little bit. I get in here, and I got the chin. If you get the chin, his whole body will follow. No matter how strong he is, his body's going to follow. I lift it up far enough to get it where I want it, and I let him continue to come, but I slide on in and get him in a DDT. But I ain't going to DDT because we're going to fall back with our knee up this way and drop into the guard position. No, don't fall. You got to wrestle with guys. So this is open, and this, if you get your leg around with, oh, he's already tapping out. Pull the chin a little bit. Good. Is he tapping?
Hey, don't forget about those 15 brutal fight enders. This training is yours for free from the link in the description. I honestly don't know how long the powers that be will allow this stuff on their platform. It's pretty over the top, but it's easy to learn. So get to the link in the description right away.
Self-defense tip number 1.
Let's move on now to a low tackle where the guy is trying to grab you low to the legs. Most of the people on the street will end up 90% of the time on the ground if they get into grappling and wrestling, meaning getting into one of those and I push you and you push me, will end up on the ground. people that are better fighters, like street fighters, what I call the punks that really like to take advantage of you, they will fake up and shoot down. Once they put you down on the ground, there's not much you can do. You on your back, you can try your best to strike, you can try to elbow, but if they're aggressors and they're very strong, they get on top of you, 1 or 2 good punches, you could have lights out. You don't want that to happen. So here it is. You watch the whole person, not just his eyes. They could be beautiful and blue, and you get faked out. You watch the whole body by watching the person and the throat. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When I watch the person and the eyes, I probably see up to here of him. When I watch him in the throat, I see the top of his head, and I see him all the way to the bottom. So my focus is on his throat, but if he moves any one of his legs, hey, I can see it. Anything he does, and my hands are here, I can see it. So I can reach, I can see, but I don't look him in the eyes. Also, some people does not like, or they don't like, I should say in correct English, they don't like the challenge. Once you look him in the eyes, you created a challenge. So I look him in the throat and play very humble. As soon as he starts dumping or shooting to my legs, I move back. Even if I leave one leg for him, I put one hand in the crown of his head and the other one, like I throw a bowling ball, I reach for his face and slap him right up and twist his face around. That will stop his body from moving any more forward or grabbing. Even if he grabbed my leg, I got his head. I'll give him a leg for his head. At this point in here, I caused a major trauma to his neck. I'm going to turn him around. I can elbow him. I can knee him. I can take the air and the vision away and drop him. Stay in the top of his head and talk him in staying down. If he decides not to and he's still aggressive, here's when I kick him and put him to sleep. Here's where I hit the body. Okay, let's show this again. And this time I'm going to show it from this direction. As I'm talking myself out of it and he fakes me and shoots, I stop him with my forearm and I shoot my hand right to his face. Let's turn him a little bit into camera this way so I can show how I shoot him, stop him, and shoot him right to the face. Just a palm to the face, and immediately I torque. Now, even if he's bald and doesn't have any hair to grab, I reach to the crown of the head, I reach my fingers into his ears, but this is what does the job, is the chin turns. I give him a chiropractic treatment for free. I crank his neck, and right away I shoot to the temple of his head to take the equilibrium out. Boom! And if I need to, more than once. Okay? I then smear the face and take him down where I want him and stay on top of his head in an angle. So I can see him, so I can talk to him, stay down there. I can stomp, I can kick the body if I don't want to be lethal and deal with the consequences of putting him in the hospital with a lot of stitches in the faces. Okay, let's come up. And Eric, let's walk another stuntman actor in here, and they will walk to this one time and full speed. There he goes. Fake it.
Hey, final notice about the 15 brutal fight enders. It's simple, easy to learn, and devastatingly effective training taught to special forces, but typically not to civilians. You can get it for free in the description. Just hurry. I doubt this is going to be around for long, so I'll see you over there.
Thanks for watching our video lessons here at TRS Direct. Hit the like button down below and consider subscribing to our channel here on YouTube. Hit the bell icon and we'll send you a notification when there's a new lesson available. Thanks again for watching.